Let me turn that down a little bit. Hello, anybody there? Hello. All right, doggies. All right. Is anybody there? Right. Alfie. Hi there. Anybody there? Anybody there for a bit of Fimo clay modelling? I've really struggled with this live because you need to be able to see what I'm doing. But first of all, I'm going to turn that bloody video off because I can't hear myself speak. Right. Happy Monday, everybody. Who's there? Who's there? Hi. Oh, Keris, of course. Thank you for joining me, Keris. Hope you've had a good weekend. Yeah, I know. Right. So yesterday, I know. Why don't you sit down? Look, got my nails done. I've done my roots, and I've got my nails done. And yesterday, so I'm going to this week hopefully I've just washed my hands, Bailey. Thank you. You sitting? Well, why don't you sit? Yes. Just wanted to join in today. Right. No more tasty minis. Just sit down now. Stay there. Right. What I was making yesterday was some little Fimo bits and pieces. Now, I've been making Fimo. I used to make a lot of Fimo when I was a teenager. And a few years ago, I started buying some more. So I've got some little blocks of Fimo. It's called Polymer clay. So I've got some little blocks there. And they were just in the box. And some of the dates are still on these. Some of them are from 2008. And some of them are from 2015. And they were rock hard. But I've had a revelation. Oh, Daisy loves a new swing, bless her. Yeah, so some of these, if you leave them, hi Mandy, if you leave these polymer clay things, they go really, really hard, but I found a revelation, right? The revelation is this, Vaseline, petroleum jelly. So, petroleum jelly, if you've got some old polymer clay or Fimo, that's the brand name of this one. It usually comes in packets like that. I know it's back to front. They're quite small, and I've written down the prices for you. You're going to have to go when I start making things because they're not things to eat. So if you put that with a little bit of Vaseline and just knead it, it just brings it back. And I've been cheating a little bit. I've been sticking it to the top of the radiator to get it a bit warmer. I can't remember what I was going to make with that one. I don't think I'm making anything. And I've found another brand of polymer clay called Sculpey. And I'm going to start with this. I'm going to show you what I've made already. And then we're going to make a teddy bear. And what was the other thing? And I'll ask you what else you want me to make. Just a little pendant. I'll show you what I've been making this morning. I've not quite finished it, but I've been making something that's it's a bit more complex, but I've been making, I don't know whether you can see it, it's like a little peacock brooch, and you can see it's got a little loop stuck in its head. I've still got to finish that off, so I'll finish that off after. It's getting warm. Right, all right. And what I've discovered last night when I was doing my modelling in front of telly, my other half didn't want me to have the bright lights on, so I was trying to do it in the dark, and I've realised that I can't see very well anymore, so I might need to put my specs on if I need those. And I'll show you what I've been making yesterday. This Sculpey stuff, you might be able to sort of see. Let's show you. Let me show you. Woo! Glow in the dark. Sculpey. So I've had great fun. I think that's about a £5, that Sculpey. I can't remember, on Amazon, but I've got you the prices. That for one small, it's like the size of the palm of your hand. One small Fimo, that's £2.65 for a colour. But what I've found, you can buy sets, because that's just a brand name Fimo. It's called Polymer clay, and you can buy sets, like beginner's sets. There's a polymer clay set with 24 colours. I think they've just got like half size bricks, and it's got with it little earrings, little charms, little tools. 24 colours, £11.99. So we're making some cheap presents. So I'll show you what I've made in the past. This is donkey's years old. This little teddy bear, just really cute to put on. You can just super glue those. Stop licking my fingers. Super glue those onto brooch backs. Can you see him? It's a bit more difficult to see the darker colours, isn't it? And one that I made as a gift for a new mummy. I've shown you this before, but that's made out of Fimo clay. Little newborn baby. And you just put a little loop, stick a little metal loop in his head, and you stick the metal bits in before you put them in the oven. And I'll come on to baking in the oven in a minute. So I started off the other day. I'm just going to show you what I made. I think you've seen that one. So I made this for... Light's rubbish, isn't it? Shall I turn other light on? Turn big light on. Hang on, bear with me. Bear with me. Can you see any better now? I can't swing a cat in here. Right, so can you see that any better? So that's that little lizard out of Frozen 2. There is a YouTube, what's it called? Bruni, it's called. There's a little tutorial, and I painted the little details on his back, some pinky coloured diamond shapes. But that was quite hard to make because it's not flat on the tray. So I made that, and the other one that I made, the pair of these, I've learnt my lesson because I put them in the oven. If you put them in the oven too hot, they burn and they discolour. So that was a lot brighter when it went in, but it's not too bad. This one was terrible. This one, it was an off-white colour I tried to do it in, and so that's, what's he called? Out of Moana, I think. Pua or something like that. That was a toy when I saw the pictures. So that's just polymer clay. I used that chunk, and I because it burnt in the oven and it went a bit browner than it was supposed to do, I just went over it with some white acrylic paint. But that's what my nieces requested. Hello, darling. You still here? You staying with me, sweetheart? So, but on the packet it says bake it at 130 degrees for 20 minutes, half an hour or something like that. But 130 in my fan oven was too hot. So the ones that I've done since, I've turned it right down to 110 for like 20, 25, 30 minutes, depending on how big they are. So they're the ones I started off doing. And then the one that I'm going to show you today, let me show you how cute these are. So I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's that Sculpey. These are the glow-in-the-dark ones, look. Can you see? Glow-in-the-dark ones. So I've got a little army of these going on. Little army of them. So we've got some shells off the beach. Do you like them? Oh, I'm loving my red nails. I can't have had nail varnish on for about a year. So, and they're just hot glue gunned to a little stone. So I'm not quite sure who I'm going to give. All kids are going to get one, I think. You know, little... So I've made a whole little army of them. So I'm going to show you how to make him, because that has got to be the simplest, easiest thing to make in the whole wide world. Isn't it cute? And these little thingies sticky. What did you call them? Antennae? I don't know. What do you call them on a snail? So that little thing, these little metal bits, I ordered them. I think they are like jewellery making accessories. I can't remember how much they are, but I'll show you what I bought. So we've got these 2 bags of things. These are the I guess you use them for beads and things like that. Can you see? They've got like a little knobbly bit on the end, but you do have to cut them down because when you're sticking them in, you have to make sure it doesn't go out the other side. And then the other things that I've bought are, look, you get like 100 in a packet. They look nice and silvery. And they're just, so that's how you make a pendant. Wouldn't it be good if I had a proper camera? So you just stick those metal things in your polymer clay when it's still soft, and then it goes in the oven with that on it. Right, so that's that. And you can buy all sorts of modelling tools. I've treated myself to some new metal ones, but I already had loads of plastic ones. There's loads of shapes in there that I don't think I'm ever going to use. The ones that, you know, the ones that I use the most are the little pointy tools. Can you see that? Little pointy tools. But you can see, and things like that with a little hook to pull bits off that you've done wrong. And it's very simple little kids knitting needle, I think it is. We stop licking my hands. And I've also, what you can use for clay modelling is you can use the same things that you use for decorating a cake. So I already had these. So little, that's a bit big really for Fimo unless you're going massive. But that's really good. It's just for cutting out tiny little flowers, and you press them onto your thing with that little, whatever you're making, with a plunger. So I'm going to show you how to make something, I think, oh, it's gone hard again, that. Let me get this out and stick it on radiator, because I'm going to show you, I was going to show you how to make a little bunny type thing with some flowers on it. So I'll show you what else I've made. So last night, so I've made the little snails, and just quick and easy things. I'm going to show you how to make one of these, but not a sitting up one. Have you seen him? Isn't he cute? Hi Sue, hi Chantel, hi Colette, hi Danielle, hi Lucy. So he's really cute, and he sits up. There he is. I'm going to add some detail on to the top of this cupcake. I'm just going to paint some little hundreds and thousands or something on there. So I'm going to show you how to make the ones that like sit up are a bit more difficult to master, because you've got to like build them up. And one of the hardest things when you're making clay models is when you press the 2 bits together, very often it makes them just go out of shape. And the best way to get them to stick together is push them on firmly and make sure the clay is properly softened. If it's not properly softened, they just break off. So I made him. So I'll show you how to make a teddy bear similar to that. It's going to be a combination between both of those, because he's very basic and he's a bit nicer. He's got a cuter face. So all these ideas, you can find them on the internet. Just put in polymer clay ideas. I'll show you who else I made as well. I thought he was cute. Isn't he cute? Little mousey. Little mousey. I made him. So I probably made him out of half of one of these. Half of one of these. I don't know who I'm going to give that to, but it's just, I'll show you the picture that I copied for that. I'll show you the pictures that I've copied. And I just picked out this little pendant. Well, you stick the metal loopy bits in the top. Isn't he cute? I think he's supposed to be more of like a charm. Can you see him? More of like a little charm. So he's only little, but he's got, so I've stuck the loop in the top of his head, that metal loop, and then that allows you to put a little split ring thing on. So the split rings, You could get those on the internet. So there's little split ring things. You can get smaller ones than that. Those glasses are actually tiny little split rings, but I thought that Santa was really cute because it's got his little round glasses on. So they're really, I'll put photographs of these on, but you don't really need me to. You can just find your own little doodads. Oh, did I show you my little, this is what my daughter said. She said this one was the cutest one. So I'm showing you what I copied. So I copied him. And that's, you can find really, really basic ones. But if you look at the difference between that one and that one, I think he's a bit more cute because he's got more of a shape to his head. He's got more of a shape to his body. And there's a bit more detail on his ears. So that's what I copied. See, this isn't exactly the same because my one's nose is like proper big. He's got quite a big nose, that fella. And I couldn't be bothered to do him holding that candy cane. So that's him. But it's not bad, is it? But if you think that you buy a set of those for like 12 quid or whatever it is with all the tools, that'd make a nice little present. You could stick that to something else. And then the ones that she said were cutest, my daughter, she said them little sloths were cute. What do you think? And that's where I got my idea for me off the internet. I haven't got around to making these little things, but I thought they for anybody starting off, they're going to be really, really simple to make. But those sloths, let me show you my sloth. Let me show you my sloth. What do you think of him? And I kid you not, look at the shape of it. It's just like almost like a triangle shape. And I just did a slit for his legs, drew him, made some indentations with a knife. And the thing is, what I've noticed about doing a sloth, they seem to be quite fashionable at the moment. There, can you see my little flower cutter I've used to make those? But the thing about a sloth is the shapes of some of the things that you make, I don't know whether I'll get a chance to show you them, is really easy. It's basically a brown lump of clay, and then you put this sort of masky face thing going on that makes it look like a sloth, apparently. Right, so yeah, I'll show you these. Me printer's run out of ink. I'll show you these other ideas. Can you see them? They're sloth earrings. So I haven't got any earring hooky bits, but that's basically a little curl of clay, and then a circle for the head, and then you've just got that little easy face. How cute are those? Might make a pig. I think his body with his head on, and I really wanted to make him for you. I haven't made any of these, but I thought they were really, really cute. Really, really cute for presents. Right, shall I show you how to make a really, really simple glow in the dark one of these? Do you want to make one of those? Right, and I'll tell you something now. This Sculpey, how much did I say it was? I think it's £5.50 or something like that for that Polymer glow in the dark clay. And I'll have got 7 of these. Easily got 7 of these out of that. So, you know, considering I've just collected the shells, you know, that's not an expensive present. It's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. Right, where's my Sculpey? Is this the right one? Sculpey. Right, I'm going to have to adjust my camera so you can see. Oh dear. That didn't work so well, did it? Hang on. Look, I told you it was hard work doing this. Hiya, Michelle. Right, shall we try again? Can you see? Oh, dogs everywhere. Can you see what I'm doing? Right. Can you see what I'm doing? Right. So what I've got here is, are you helping me? I've got a little stone, a little shell, and then I've got these two these bits of wiry bits. So I've got 2 of those, but you can see that I've cut them down. Now, ideally, you would use little wire cutters, but I've had to use my scissors. And if you use your scissors to cut wire, you'll knacker your scissors. But I didn't have anything else. Right, this is, I know dogs think, so look, I've even got, no, it's not to eat. Here. Here. And, right. I'm wiping my hands because when you make polymer clay, for a start off, you need to make sure everything's really, really clean, because this stuff, it picks up all the bits. And I'm just going to see if that is this Sculpey. I like this Sculpey. It's super soft. Might be getting some more of that. But if you make little things like that, it's just, and it's very mindful thing to do. It's a very mindful thing to do, because what you're thinking about is not all the chores you've got to do. You're thinking about how you're going to make his arm look. So it basically, this, and I'll put in there so you can see what I'm making. Put them all here. Put them all here. Look at all my little snails. Look at them all. They're all watching. Oh. Makes you be a kid again, doesn't it? It is lovely and it's really therapeutic. So you've got to, because all your shells and your stones are not going to be the same size, you've just got to gauge it. And what I've done, can you see his head's a bit square there? So I'm trying to make his head a bit more bulbous, and I'm thinking that's going there. And as you can see, they go down and the tail goes up again. But they're proper cute. So if you're watching me today, dear me, you must have a lot of time on your hands. Well, it's not the nicest of days, is it, for going out doing things? So if you think sort of like that, and then what I'm going to do is just mould his face into a, if it's nice and soft, you can sort of mould it into a rounder, more bulbous head. Right, so if you imagine him like that, and then we're going to have, I know you can't read, it's not very good, is it? So then what you need to do is push the shell into his back, and one of these, and I put the shells in the oven. So they're all right in the oven because you don't have it very hot. And he's going to sit on there like that. You just have to dip in and out of this video because it's going to be a bit long, isn't it? So what I've done with these is I've just turned the end of them over. You're right, you dogs down there. Just turn the ends of the, I don't know what they're called. I want to say antennae, but I don't think they are. They're their eyes, aren't they, or whatever? Well, if they're their eyes, what are they? I think something's gone wrong somewhere. Right, so also what I would do to put your eyes in, use your, ow, your claws are sharp. Use your needle to decide where you want the eyes, and he's got eyes right stuck on the sides of his head. So, and then that'll show you where you're putting your, I know. Listen. How can I do this? I've told you. Right, so you just have to be careful you don't stick it through his chin. So, it's not anything for dogs to eat, so that really sort of completes him. Then, and I would advise you to don't even think about eating that. It's not nice. Stop it. You can't eat that. You would as well, wouldn't you, if I let you? So I've got a little bit of black. Don't need that much. So you don't need a lot. So these little things, these little sluggy, snaily things, are a really good way to make loads. The smaller you do these things, the more cost effective they are, because the more you can get out of your doodah. And actually, the eyes are probably much smaller. Oh, really? You like babies, aren't you? Why are you being so needy? So just cut yourself 2 little tiny pieces of black. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Julie. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Louise. Right. So we're going to try and put the eyes on now. If we can. It is dead fiddly sometimes. No! Stop it. And then you've got to just stick his eyes in. Stick his eyes in. I always seem to get one eye bigger than the other, but it doesn't matter. Right, so there he is. And what you'll find is when you put them in the oven, they usually fall over. But as long as that's quite flat, use your hot glue gun, or I don't know whether super glue would work. But those I've mentioned before about the perils of a hot glue gun, right? Because they are very, very, very hot, and you can burn yourself quite nastily on those things. So should be the grown-ups using those, not the kids. Right. What am I going to make next? I was going to make this little pendant for you. This little bunny thing. I think it's a bunny. Just to show you something that's a bit more detailed. And we'll use this. Right, and remember to wrap up your stuff in a little plastic bag like that. Right. So I'm just copying these things. There, you can have them for your eyes, love. Right, so isn't it good having the internet that you can just copy things from? Right, so when you're looking at things to make, have a look what shapes it's made out of, and that's, I think that I picked that because I thought that was really cute. But have a look what shape and proportions there are. So you can see that the body's quite small, the head's really big, and the eyes are really quite wide set. So they're all the features that make it look cute. And I don't think I'm going to do it holding a balloon. I think I'm going to just do her holding some flowers or something. Or a rose. Should we do it holding a rose? And I don't know what she's got on her head, but I'm not doing that bit. Like a funny teddy bear thing on her head or something. So all you do is get your lumps. Hi, Zena. So we said that her body, so we'll give her a big head. She's got a little body and she's got a little stump. A lot of these animals are just a head, a body and stumps. That's all they are. Head, a body and stumps. So, do you know, I wish I'd made myself a brew. And it's a little bit, I'm going to try and show you. So very often, the bodies, if you just make them into more like an egg shape, I wish I had better technology to show you. But that's the body. All I've done is rolled a ball, then pinched it up at the top end. So that's going to be a body. And make sure your board's clean. I'm not too precious about getting bits on it, but if you've been rolling to soften like a really dark colour and then you use a really pale colour, it does pick up all the bits off your hands. So is that big enough? No, I don't even think that's big enough. What you all doing? It's ideal to do this on a minging day, isn't it? Right, come on. What's she called, this little bunny rabbit? So she's sort of got, all this is doing is just putting together different shapes. So she's got kind of a triangle shaped head. And do you know what? It doesn't even matter if it doesn't look. So it's like, almost like two It's almost like two triangle shapes, almost. And the hardest thing to do, I think, is when you want to join. It's not very good for you to see, is it? Can you see? It's a bit dodgy, this camera. Right, join the two things, and you just got to sort of push them onto each other. So we'll push that head onto the body, and then you can sort of model it. I'm going to show you. So that's all. That is all I've got at the moment, and it looks rubbish, doesn't it? Looks proper rubbish, but the cuteness is in the detail. Right. So let me show you. So you've basically got two circles squeezed together, and then I'm going to make some little feet. Hi Zena. Right, so when you're making arms and legs and eyes as well, if you need something to be the same size, like you want the legs to be the same size, get a chunk that you think will do two, roll it into a sausage, and just a tiny little sausage, and just cut it in half like that. So you think, oh, right, that looks about right. That one might be a tiny bit bigger. And then I'm just going to squidge your legs on. The good thing about these videos, though, is you can fast forward me, can't you? So I'm making two little sausages, and she's got tiny, tiny, tiny little stumpy legs. And these are all, when you look at them, these are all things that make them look cute. Right, I've put her legs together, and I'm just going to squeegee them on like that. Look, there we go. Right. I don't know how this is going to turn out, by the way, because I've not made it before. And I'm just going to do two little stumps for her arms as well. So we would think that the stumpy arms are probably a little bit smaller than the stumpy legs. So I think that's too much. Look, there's the eyes. They're for the eyes. Right, so I've decided. Oh, look, dog hair's stuck to me clay. Is anybody there? Is anybody doing anything? Send me a message. It's boring, this, isn't it? So Friday we're going to do a normal live. Let me cut that in half. Oh. And you're just rolling them into a ball. So cut them in half, roll them into another ball again, and then make them into little, obviously their arms. So they're a little bit smaller, and I usually make them a tiny bit fatter at the one end than the other. And then you just sort of stick them. Where's one of my things? Stick them between, I'm going to show you in a minute. Oh, you can just usually push them on with your fingers. This is the hardest bit, because when you push things on, everything goes out of shape. I'll show you. But they're dead easy to make. You can make these. Right. So you can do whatever you want. Look, it does look, doesn't it, like she's got proper bulbous head. But believe me, it's the bulbous head that makes her cute. And she's got a pink nose, but I want a darker pink than that. And I have got some darker pink. This is me 2008 batch, though. I think I better put it on the radiator to warm up. But that trick with the Vaseline is really, really good. It's like, can't believe it. Can't believe it. Not done it before. And I do want some of those. Want some pink flowers, don't we? Want some pink flowers and some, I think we'll have some purple flowers. So all I'm going to do is just cut some of that off, and I'm going to be naughty and stick it on the radiator. It's a right bloody scruffy room, this room now. There I was, tidying up nicely. Tidied it all up, and now it's full of old Christmas stuff. Right, what shall we do next? Shall we do those big floppy bunny ears. And the big floppy bunny ears. Right, I'm going to show you how to make this. So, I think that might be a bit too much. I do like that peacock that I made. It turned out a bit better than I thought, and I'm going to paint some little gold bits on it. And the one that I copied it had some little jewels stuck to it as well. So the two ears, obviously you want them to be equal. So a little sausage, make them back into balls, and let's see how we get on with this ear shape. Because for lots of these animals, and this one as well, the little mouse that I made, you just make your ear shape and then you pinch it. You pinch it there to make it look like it's a bit folded over. So you pinch it and then you stick it on. So let's see how this works out. Right, so I want them to be a bit longer, little bunny ears, and then you're just making them to points at the side. So it's like a sausage. It's like a sausage with pointy bits. So if you look at that, a sausage with points, of course, sausage with points. If you want her ears really pointy. And then what you do, sausage with points, and then you squish it more flat. So, squishing it flat. And you can always cut bits off, because I think, oh, that's huge. So, right, I need to, I think, I haven't made this before, so I am just making it up. So I'm cutting that off because it's too big. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and you can, these are really good for everything. You can use that to just help. Can you see? Curl it over. Can you see what I've done? Can you see what I've done? The light, I can never seem to get the light right. There, I think you can see that now, can't you? So we've got an ear there. Right, so let's just make sure I get the other one the same size. Hello, gorgeous. So sausage with pointy ends, and then I cut one end off, didn't I? What do you want? I know what you want. You want one of these, don't you? But then you're making my hands all dirty. That's all you want. Now, the other one's here now. Cheeky. Poor Alfie down there, he's fast asleep, he's missing out big time. Right. They don't have to be exact. Honestly, kids ones are the best. Kids Fimo models are the absolute best because they are so funny. Right. And if you find your Fimo gets stuck on here, you can just use a knife. Just a kitchen knife, this. And I cut, how much did I cut off? Cut off about that much, didn't I? And then, see, I've got all that dirty now because my board's not very clean. So I've just pinched it over like that. And I'm going to have to flatten it down. See, have we got one ear bigger than the other? Oh, who cares? Who cares? Even cares? No one's checking. Right. So the thing is about all these little features that make that cute are the fact that it's got its ears stuck almost pretty much to the side of her head, and her eyes are really wide and they're quite low down. So they're the features that make things look cute. So look where the position of the eyes are, and if I've got time I really want to make that, but I might make that, but I might just go off so you don't have to have this 2 million years long. Right, let's see where her ears are stuck to the side of her head. Right, now what you've got to do is try and stick them on. This looks looks like Yoda, this. And then you just have to try and... looks like Yoda, look! You do have to do a bit of tweaking, I've got to say. let's see how we can make that go down like that. And very often you'll find that some of the cute things, some of the very, very cute things, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say then. Some of the cute things, I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, like I've really massive heads and eyes set quite low down on the face. Right, so she has got now, she's got little arms, and I don't know how she's going to carry a flower because her arms aren't long enough. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So what I'm doing now is I'm just making a little nose. And when I've done this, I'm going to make a really, really quick teddy bear because teddy bears are absolutely the easiest things to make. Proper easy. This is taking me a little bit longer because I've not made it before. Right, low down nose. And you can just model the... Right, let's do it a bit more triangular shaped. It's not really working very well, that. Right, where her eyes are going. So her eyes are quite low down on her head. Oh, that's what I was going to say about things that are cute. Very often, you'll see things that look really cute and they've got their head on a bit of an angle. And that makes them look cute. That one was supposed to have its head on a bit of an angle, but, well. So they're going, I'm so cute. Has he got his head on an angle? See, look, he's got his head on a bit of an angle as well. Right, come on, Lady Jane. And what you can do as well, the nice thing about this is once it's been in the oven and you've... Oh, she's actually, that looks really cute. And I'm going to change her because this one looks really cute with its legs quite far apart. I think I'm going to change that. And she's only going to have... You can, a lot of these have got little tiny bits of black for their eyes, but you can just use your needle to make their eyes. What have I got to do today? I need to find a recipe to make cream of celery soup. So I don't think I've done that low down enough, but I'm just going to do her a little thingy there like that. I wonder if she could have a little smile. I've got to say, you know, this isn't the best one I've ever made. But, you know. Right. I'm going to redo her legs. I'm going to do her legs again. Dogs are bored already. Courtney. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Sammy. What you all doing today? You all working or you're at home with your babies? How's little Elodie, Zena? She's been a good little girl. Right, stumpy legs, and I've decided that I want her legs. I thought that looked quite cute. So I'm going to make her legs with a bit of a gap in between because I thought that looks cute. Right, let me show you how we're getting on so far. Oh, midwife needed for night shift tonight. Bit of messages. So that's a pretty basic bunny, and if I can do that in a few minutes, you can as well. Right, let me show you how we can do these flowers. Right, first of all, we're going to need some stalks, but let's put a little could put a little flower in her hair, couldn't we? So you can just make it up as you go along. Kids are the best at making stuff up. I can't make stuff up, I have to copy it. Right, I'm just softening this. How was your weekend? It's a good job I don't mind talking to myself, isn't it? It's a good job. I'm either talking to myself or talking to my dogs. Right, so usually with Fimo you're making stuff that is so tiny you don't like need a rolling pin or anything, but I'll show you how this, where is it? Can't find, oh it's there, me thingy cutter out. Right, let's get some, cut a little bit of green off and make some little tiny stalks. And she's on this picture, she's got little like eyelashes. I'm going to draw those on after. And then I'm going to get one of these loops to stick in. One thing at once, Claire. You're doing the flowers now. One thing at once. Oh, she's cute. She's cute. So, when you're making stalks for anything, you just have to roll it out really, really tiny, tiny, tiny. I do use this knife quite a lot. So, how big do we want the flowers? How big do we want the flowers? And then what you could do, I might do with that little bit that's left over. So, should we just put them across the body? Like that. I wish it didn't take so long to make these, and then I could get through them, because I just think, oh, it takes 2 seconds to make this, but it is really, really therapeutic. So let's just stick them on there like that. And this here, let's make a little leaf. I'm going to make a tiny little leaf. It's good if I used to be a lot more dexterous than this, but do you know what? As you get older, I can't see the same. I should put my eyes on, shouldn't I? Let me put my eyes on. Claire, you can see better when you put your glasses on. I always forget that. Put your glasses on because you can see better. Oh, what's hot on Pinterest this week? Oh, I tell you that Pinterest has got loads of good stuff to make, hasn't it? I want you lot. Did I show you? I shared with you. I'll show it you at the end. Right. So all I'm doing now with this leaf shape is making it into another little pointed sausage. A pointed sausage. And then I'm just going to go like that. Pointed sausage. And I'm just, leaves always look like leaves if you put a little line in them. Right. I don't think it's not my best effort. It's the thought. I keep telling myself it's the thought that counts. I think I'm going to do a purple, 1 pink, 2 yellow, I'm thinking. Right, so this was like hard work last night when I tried to do these. I'll show it you in a minute. Remember, when you press it down on your board like that, it usually sticks to it. So you need to get it off with a knife. So let's have a go. So I've got my little flower stuck in there, and then the plunger thing's really good to get it out. So what we're going to have, I was going to have one of them in the middle. One flower. I've got some Fimo soft there so we can show you such a easy teddy to make. Right, these are my new colours, so hopefully they're quite soft. Oh, can see better with my glasses on now. That's what happens when you get old. Right, come on, Claire. I think she's going to be a lot cuter. I don't know what she's got in her hair. It's going to be a lot cuter when she's got her little eyelashes on. There's a yellow one. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Right, now what I'm going to do is, you should always put it back in the packet. Is that the same as that? Is that the same as that? Is that the same as that? Dogs, are you bored now? Right. Purple. Yeah, they're all right, these, when you... It says, oh, you're supposed to be open and close them, but I don't know how you do that. Just cut the top off. Right. Gonna have some other little... See, look, all these, I've hardly used any of that. I think she's gonna look cuter with a little facial expression. Oh, her eyes popped out. I'll show you in a minute. I'm just going to stick one of them in her head. So you do have to be careful how long that thing is. I'm just going to chop it down a little bit, and you'll see that scissors not the best thing to use, I don't think. So you can use these for pretty much anything. Charms. Shall I show you her? Not finished it yet. Can you see? Kids love things like that. And sometimes, you know, some plastic toys, aren't they expensive? Aren't they expensive? Right, I'm going to do... Yeah, and if you've got any cake crafting bits and pieces... I'll have to assess this video when I've finished, just to see if you... I bet you can't even see what I'm doing, can you? One flower. Did we say we're going to have a flower in her hair? In her hair. She hasn't even got any hair, has she? So that fits on there. She's got one on her ear. I don't know what that's all about. She's got a flower on her ear. Well, she can have a flower on her ear then, if I can get hold of it. I don't know whether I can be bothered to do any more on that, but you can add details afterwards. This sharp, this knife isn't that sharp. So there you go, boom, little bunny, and she's got a little hook, not a hook. She's got a little loop in her head. She's got a little loop in her head, and you can adjust the ears whatever you fancy. She's got little flowers in her hair. But things like that's just so cute to give her gifts. Right, that's all I'm doing to her. Right, and I'm going to show you. Let me just put these bits away. I should have just put my music on, I think. It's like I'm just here on my own, though. It's like I'm just here on my own. Right. Made that soft. Made that nice and soft. So you've seen Bunny Rabbit. Right. What I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to go off this live and then start it again so that they're not all too long. Right. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Bye for now.